We can set an intro to going live now. I didn't know that. No, we're using StreamYard. I haven't used StreamYard in a little bit. And because of that, I had to log in and then reset everything back up because it's been probably 8 months since we used StreamYard the last time. And I wanted to do it because of the nature of the conversation that we're going to have tonight. And the fact that I don't need a whole bunch of trolls coming in and just whining and doing stupid stuff. I wanted to be able to talk to people like people and not have to worry about any of the extracurricular garbage that may go on. So B Dubs, Jeremy, I saw Patchy here earlier, Jamie True, Budsville, George Orway, Shorush, Stephen Ott, how you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. Denny of Fools, I see you there as well. So glad you're with us tonight. We're going to talk about tariffs. And we're not going to do anything political. I'm going to try to leave politics out of it as much as possible because let's face it, no one cares what my politics are. Just like I don't care what their politics are. I want to have a conversation about what we can expect from these tariffs and how we think it's going to affect us in our everyday life. Is that fair enough? Does that sound like a good idea?
Works for me.
So, Sayer, how you doing? I see your comment. One of the things that I can do now is this. I can actually put your comments up on the screen in easy way. And even this one, we all know Makita fanboys vote. So because the tariffs went into effect on the 2nd, and that was the reciprocal tariffs from the United States to the rest of the world, there's been a lot of overreaction from folks I see on both sides of the aisle. Okay. And the thing is, most people don't understand tariffs, how they work, and what the effects are. So a tariff is simply a charge that a government puts on a foreign entity to sell products within their borders. It's a pretty easy thing to understand. How they work is it's like a tax on a foreign entity. Whether you believe they're good or they're bad, they do have some benefits as well as some drawbacks. The easiest drawback is if you're accustomed to buying tools or items from that foreign company or that foreign entity, and the tariffs are put on, it makes the cost of that good, that product, much higher, or it can make it much higher. The fact is that every country in the world already gives a tariff to the United States. Canada's been doing it, and Mexico have been doing it, even though we were supposed to have a free trade agreement with them. Sorry, my camera is moving. For the last, when did Bush do that? 91, I believe, 91, somewhere in that matter, or in that neighborhood. What's that?
Don't get me lying.
I am not lying. I'm trying to remember when NAFTA went into effect.
Don't get me lying. I don't know.
Oh.
Don't get me.
That's all right. I'm used to it with you.
I finally got the chat up.
Oh, thank you.
For me.
It's easier if you go straight into StreamYard and you're looking at StreamYard.
But then I can't see you, right? Or can we?
I can see you, dude. I'm in StreamYard right now.
If I go to I'm on my phone.
I got to do this. I got to hit the, so now I have it so that I can see the live chat over there. And I can see you and I here.
You are on the computer.
Yes, I am. And I'm using my really nice Sony camera right now. Thank you for being a member for 22 months, George. So we appreciate that. Yes, that's right, Jamie. And my local product mill failed and went out of business, 100-year-old mill. That is one of the things. Yeah. Okay, buds. So when you're talking about tariffs, well, the one thing that you're going to understand is that it is a way to change behavior. And that is probably its biggest effect on folks, is it changes your behavior. Goods that you're used to buying from one entity over another will increase in cost. That forces you, especially if you're like, oh, so many of us living paycheck to paycheck, that forces you to buy another product from a different company, one that isn't facing that tariff. And I'll say it the easiest way. Let's say you have this, a Roku remote. I don't care if you like Roku or not. It's not about that. Right now, if you were to buy this remote at Walmart, it's $19.99 because it's got the little voice button. I guess it's right there.
Yeah.
So, and this comes from China. It's made in China. It's produced in China, and it's shipped over here to the United States at $19.99. However, let's say you have this other remote. It's not a Roku remote. Don't worry. I'm just using it as an example. You have this other remote that has all the same features as the Roku, but this remote made in the United States, and the cost of this is $22.99, right? So $19.99 right now, $22.99. If there's a 30% tariff on this, this goes up to about $27. This one remains at $22.99. Which one are you going to buy then?
Right.
That's how a tariff on a foreign entity works. Now, there are products that are not made in the United States that are going to have a tariff. And those products, mainly the tools that we all use, are going to see an increase in cost. Now, there's two ways the business can handle that. Say Home Depot or Lowe's. One, they can ask the manufacturer to absorb some or all of that additional cost.
That's what Walmart's doing.
Or two, they can increase their prices.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two options that you're going to have, because a business is still required to make a profit. It has a moral obligation to return a profit to the people that invest in that business. International may drive up the cost. What is that? May drive up the cost and made locally because of demand. No problem, man. I appreciate it. I'll try to remember that, Sharouche, but I think Tactics over here is more familiar with the inner workings of the glory hole than I am.
Once you get about 15, 20 minutes in, I'm gonna adjust some stuff, because you spent, I don't know how long adjusting yours for StreamYard. Mine is still on my phone. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're using my phone microphone and not any of this right now.
Yeah. Cobalt wrenches could be $100 and still worth every penny, according to one. That's that. I've got to highlight that one. That was funny. So yeah, that's a very rudimentary way of understanding tariffs and their effects. Here's what I think is going to happen. DeWalt, Stanley Black & Decker, and Tectonic Industries. Those are the two biggest players here in the United States as far as power tools go right now. They already have manufacturing facilities in the United States. What you'll probably see them do within the next 2 years, if these tariffs stay, is expand those facilities and likely make more. That means more jobs to Americans. And I don't know if you guys understand this or not, but manufacturing jobs right now, on average, starting pay, $37,000. Within, I think it's 8 to 10 years, average salary for someone at a manufacturing facility is around $100,000. Now, that can be affected because the Teamsters and the UAW do cause that to go up quite a bit because of their contracts and the way they've kind of negotiated those contracts. But on average, you're looking at a starting salary of $37,000, which it's not chump change. It's not a great living, but it's a good living. You can live on it. Even today, you get two people in a household working at the same manufacturing facility, you're automatically $60-something thousand, or 74, almost $75,000 if you think about it, and that's not counting overtime. That's just starting salary. So when you look at it from that angle, more jobs to Americans. I don't think anybody in America is going, maybe Sayer, but I don't think anybody in America is going to argue that those are a good thing or not a good thing.
Right.
What the other benefit to it, and this is something that I've not heard anyone speak on, is that it makes your dollar more valuable. That is, the amount of things that you can buy for your dollar will increase with the more American-made things that you buy. It also makes the dollar stronger around the world. That's also a good thing for Americans.
You said you're getting into politics on this or no? A little bit?
I'm not. I am not trying to talk about politics. This is just about tariffs and their effects on it. Whatever your politics are, you and I, we know each other's politics. The people that watch us know our politics. We're going to try to leave it at that without getting into the weeds, because
so
once you start going down that,
whether they should do it or shouldn't do it, we're just talking about the effects.
Yes, just the effects.
Okay, nothing with what the future will hold, because we're setting a new precedent of something that someone else can do in the future, and open up repercussions for ourselves for future leaders.
Chris,
not talking about that.
Yeah. So Chris, we've already seen an investment of $1 trillion from companies pledging to build here in the United States. That is a net gain. And if you think that you can not have a net gain from companies having to invest more in the United States in order for or in order to avoid their tariff, that extra tax, I really have no logical argument for you, because your argument makes no sense. What is this from Shaka? As long as a building where it costs a super cheap, that's 36K isn't. Yeah, if you're living in California, 36, 37K probably ain't going to help you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, somebody's trying to get into politics.
What's up, James?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we need to set the precedence whether we're talking about politics or not. So we're not talking about politics. We're just talking about the effects on the
Yep.
tariffs.
Just the effects. Don't care about anything else.
And then
what about Bauer? Well, Harbor Freight is almost completely dependent on relationships with China. And I think it's like 95%. I'll be generous. 95% of their products are made overseas. The Milwaukee Packout guys are probably going to notice the effects the earliest, because now there is a tariff on Israel and Israeli goods, and all of your Packout, Milwaukee, Rigid, and I believe even DeWalt, made in Israel. So a 10% increase, it's another $30 or $40 for a Packout when you think about that.
Yeah. What's up, Panther?
What's up, Panther? Hey, how you doing, Backwoods? The economy makes it easier to reschedule the massive. Yes. It's not. The thing is, you're not tanking the economy. What you're doing, so it's a twofold thing. What they're doing, and whether you're pro or anti, it doesn't matter. They're reducing government spending. The reduction of government spending means less debt in the future.
It does.
Okay. And then a tariff increases money coming in, just not from the American people necessarily. In a roundabout way, it does affect the American people, but it also encourages them to buy more locally sourced. So there are ways for them to avoid that extra cost. So you're increasing the amount of money coming into the Fed. You're decreasing the amount of expenditure by the Fed. Those are beneficial things to most Americans.
Yeah.
And if you're an average everyday American who doesn't have a lot of money invested in the stock market, then and that's what the stock market is. The stock market is talking about futures. It's not talking about what's happening right now. It's what they expect to get their return on investment, their ROI, from a company at some point in the future. You're not trading based on what happens today, or at least you shouldn't, because it's just kind of foolish if you are.
Right.
But could buy American. What was this? Sam Walton.
Sorry. Out still.
Back when Sam Walton expanded throughout America, he was American made only. I knew it hurt local economies, but could buy American. Well, the thing is, Walmart got away from that buy America. You used to walk into Walmart and they used to have signs everywhere that said American made products and American made or made in America all over the place. And now you go into it, you can't find anything made in the American in Walmart now. Even the produce is brought in from Mexico. A lot of it.
I remember going to Kmart and seeing stuff with American flags on it.
Yep. You go back, and this all started like this whole thing no, I won't even go there because that's more politics and nobody cares about the politics behind it. But I could say this: the United States could not continue to be a viable economic power doing the exact same things that they were doing. Who's James McFadden? Who's James McFadden?
I don't know. He was
No worries, Chris. I appreciate you, man.
he's in here earlier. Asking.
Oh, I didn't see it. My bad, buddy. No, I think so. Home Depot and Lowe's, they're actually going to be really fine because they use their tools as a loss leader most of the time anyway, just a way of getting you to come into the store. What they're going to end up doing is saying to these companies, whether it's Stanley Black & Decker, Makita, TTI, whomever, what they're going to end up saying to them is, we're going to do this on consignment. What we sell these tools for, we sell them. A lot of them had done that. Then they got away with it from it. Now that I think they'll go back to it. Tariffs don't start wars. That's foolish.
Well,
strangely foolish.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they don't start wars. So there are engines of change is how we can refer to this, right? War is one engine of change, famine another, disease another. You're going to notice a pattern here if you know who the four horsemen are. All right. Those are the engines of change, right? There has never been a conflict started between two countries over tariffs ever. Now, taxation is a different thing that leads to revolution, but
Right. That's
tariffs between two countries completely different.
But isn't it seen as a tax back here at home?
By the way, who is this Viformus? V1V4mus, whatever your name is, right? I'm just going to help you out here. So the 62% taxes or tariffs that Canada has had on the United States, you don't think that counts? You've been doing it for decades. You don't think that counts? What you don't like is the United States doing it back. That's what most of the world doesn't like right now, is the United States actually willing to say, that's enough. We've had enough. We've been taken advantage of enough. Now is the time for us to recoup some of what has been taken from the American people, because those countries who have not been tariffed in the past in this fashion, where businesses here in the United States, and I know this because I did it, businesses here in the United States knew that to become wealthy with our tax code and really return your investment in the tax code means you could only do it two ways. You could make money very fast before you had to pay taxes, or you could go somewhere else and find somebody willing to make your product and then send it to the United States for cheap. Our tax laws actually kind of made it more difficult for Americans to make a great deal of wealth building in the United States. So for the last 50 years, we have had a gigantic funnel of manufacturing jobs in the United States going to Canada, Mexico, India, China, you name it. And we have replaced those with service positions. So yeah, a service position like a doctor or a nurse, it's not most people. Most people end up going into like food services or retail.
Sub-shaka.
Things of that nature. So those kind of things meant that the everyday products that you buy in the United States were not from the United States. It hurt that. And we could not, and no country can be a service economy and have it stand out for long and have it do well. And I'm sorry, I'm not watching the chat and doing all that. No, I leave the servicing up to Cooch. I make product. I make videos. So again, we are not talking politics at all. We're simply trying to explain the both good and bad of tariffs. And to be honest with you, what's up, Quint? To be honest with you, I think the good far outweighs the bad. Now, that doesn't mean that there is no bad. There's plenty.
I hit backwards law somehow. I was clicking to hide a message. Someone fix that. Backwards law. Find him.
I got him.
Okay.
This is my job, apparently. Sorry about that, Backwoods.
Yeah, man.
I apologize. How many are upset stopping U.S. government fraudulent? Damien, I agree with you. I'm not going there.
Yeah, you're back. That was my bad, dude. Sorry.
What is this? The USA placed the first ever tariff in the American hit. It's not. That's just not true. But cool.
So George.
So, I guess technically I can say maybe it is, because before, when we were British colony, it was a tax. But even when we became an independent nation, the British gave a tariff to the United States on the importation of cotton and tobacco to England. Before that, it was just a tax. And when we received alcohol from Europe, there was also a tariff placed on that. Now, until 1913, the United States had no individual income tax. Everything the U.S. government took in was via tariff. And then that changed when they passed the personal income tax. Now, I don't know of any American that doesn't think we're taxed too little right now. Maybe the 50% that didn't pay any tax. Maybe they think they're taxed too little.
Yeah.
So I'm just clearing that up because I saw the comment from Sayer, and I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page as far as not going down this back and forth BS. Again, don't care about your politics. This is just about tariffs. So, and I'm sorry, I've been dominating the conversation thus far. I apologize. I just want to make sure that we got the ground rules and the background before we started the conversation. And it's taken me a lot longer than I thought it would. So I apologize to you guys. Now we're ready to go into it. In your business, which you're an electrical inspector,
right?
How do you think that tariffs are going to affect your industry, which is construction and electrical?
It's really complicated to gauge what the economy is doing in my city because it's number one in the nation. So we have this kind of bubble, a synthetic bubble that doesn't exist in many places in the United States, where everyone's going to continue to buy in this city. Everyone's going to continue to upgrade. They're going to continue to do what they're doing. I'm going to be the canary in the coal mine to tell you, because where you see the permits coming in, some of these permits come in a year before the project even starts. So a lot of this stuff is put already into effect. A lot of these contractors have already won the bid just like whenever C came around, right? And then devastated the lumber industry. We saw a lot of people losing their ass and having to come back for more money because things were just 3 times the cost. It's going to be interesting. I told my buddy whenever this all started back in 2020, and I actually told him in 2019 what was going down, and right before the unfortunate boat that happened, right?
Yep.
He saved $214,000. He could build a whole house by ordering his lumber 15 days early.
Yeah.
So it's complicated. People are saying, should we buy now? Should we not? It's hard to gauge that. I would say no. I think we're going to be just fine.
I do too. V1, V4 must, whatever. You need to stop. Okay, this is not the forum for you guys to attack one another in the comments. It's unappreciated and unwanted. This is simply a conversation. This is a conversation that all of us need to have because, well, decisions are made around the dinner table, or they used to be. Now they're made in front of the TV.
Yeah.
This is a conversation for all of us. So I'm just going to give you a fair warning. If I see any of you guys kind of getting out of line with your comments and attacking one another, I'm just going to call it out and tell you to cut it. And if you can't cut it, I'll do something about it.
Yeah.
I'll cut.
We're just trying to talk about the effects, not whether it's right or wrong.
So there, you guys can disagree civilly, but do it civilly. So in my space, I do tools. What do I think the effects will be? Short term, I think you'll see an increase in price. It's not going to be as much as most of you are thinking. It's probably going to be maybe $10, $15 or whatever.
Yeah.
I understand, Sharouche, but no, not tonight. Not tonight. We'll get back to it some other night, but not tonight. Places like this, a lot open conversation is exact. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. No worries, V1. So I think it'll have a short-term effect. You'll see prices go up. I also think to counteract that, you're going to see more sales. And why do I say that? Because stores are going to want you to come in and buy.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. What's up, Juan? They still have people that they need to employ and they need to pay.
Yeah, and rent.
Yeah.
Some of the rent down these places is astronomical.
Canada just hasn't been. I don't know about Canada. I have not researched Canada. I don't know. Canada has been a bad neighbor. It's not true. It's not also not untrue. It's give and take. Yeah. They haven't been as open as the United States has been, but they haven't been as closed off as what a lot of people think. So I think that's what we're going to see. I also think
color tag
for folks in the construction business, long term, this is going to reduce the cost. We're right now importing our lumber from mainly Canada.
Right.
And using Canadian lumber to build the United States. We're also shipping our lumber overseas. Like the lumber produced and made here in the United States, we're shipping overseas. We actually ship more than we bring in. Folks in the steel industry, this is going to be a boom period for them here in the United States. In my lifetime, the United States was the #1 steel producer in the world, and it wasn't even close. Pittsburgh, the Steelers, that's where they got their name. It was a steel city. They produce steel by the ton. And then we started importing steel from China that they were mass producing. I don't know if it was better or worse. Don't care.
Right.
We started importing Chinese steel, and that's killed or nearly killed the American steel market. There are very few companies out there producing steel in the United States now. Buffalo, like the entire Rust Belt, Ohio, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Michigan, all had high steel production because they have a lot of iron ore in those areas. A lot of coal as well. And where you see coal, you're going to see iron. It's just one of the things that they run hand in hand. So you would see a lot of steel producing facilities there. U.S. car industry. What's happened? Cooch?
Well, used cars are down.
Yes. But the production of cars has gone to countries that don't have the UAW.
Yeah, shipped it off. Yeah.
Right. So Mexico, Canada mainly. We've already gotten reports of, I think Chevrolet, GM. They're going to reopen a plant that, excuse me, they're going to reopen a plant that they closed down in Michigan, and they're going to start producing more vehicles in the United States. Nissan is investing heavily in SUVs and building SUVs here in the United States. So companies are going to figure out where Trump benefits the rich and disregards the struggling. That's exactly the opposite of what's happening. Trump's current policies, and not to get on this, but since V1 can't seem to lead the politics out of it, Trump's current policies will help the average everyday American.
I hope so.
Increased auto production in Indiana. We just saw AutoZone go out of business. And the reason for that, fewer people know how to work on a vehicle.
You think that's what it is?
Oh, yeah. The DIY market for vehicle repair has gone down dramatically. I just read a report on that today. And the reason, Americans don't know how to work with their hands anymore, by and large. Not everybody, but by and large.
Yeah, CVT transmissions are a nightmare in general.
That's interesting. Let me just highlight this. A 1.5% increase to the customer. I mean, we just ate that with inflation.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of gauge it until it actually hits. It hasn't hit yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't hit yet.
Stephen, I didn't want to talk about it, but the guy can't quit talking about politics and stuff. And I know I've got plenty of mods here. If you guys see somebody that can't just leave the politics at the door, because this ain't a politics discussion, this is only the effects of tariffs. If you see somebody that can't figure out, they don't have the intelligence to leave the politics out of it, get rid of them. I don't care what side they're on. It's not a political discussion. I don't care about your politics. I don't bring mine in. I'm not asking you to bring yours in. So that's this guy's second warning, by the way. 3 and you're out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't like talking about the politics of it, because there's just no way for us to actually say something that's going to change someone's mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to. You still recommend the same brand saving arms for installing doors?
The one that you want, the clamp, reverse clamp spreader. Because DeWalt is $100. You got one for $10, didn't you?
Did I? I don't remember. It's been so long.
It works good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
it looked like it worked good.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Yes, I love those things. He's talking about the lifter jacks.
Oh no,
dude, those things are amazing.
Yeah.
People have gotten allergic to comments. Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm saying, when you look at the bad, I'll explain it this way. I used to explain this when I was doing business to folks. You're going to have a short-term loss for a long-term gain. The long-term gain is people buying American or buying American-made goods, and that having an overall positive effect on the economy. But it's a long-term thing. I think what you're seeing now, as far as markets go, is that they don't have, or they don't understand what the new rules are going to be. And because of that, there is uncertainty in their minds of what's going to happen. It has nothing to do with tariffs. It has everything to do with the uncertainty of them trying to figure out what the rules are and how it's going to affect their return on investment. This is it.
Yeah.
Budsville, that's political, man. A couple of days ago, outstanding. That is true. The jobs report did come out, and it was much higher. It's actually been higher for 2 months than anticipated. I'm not trying to Buds, come on, man. Any order under $800 is not taxed, or what? I don't know. I never bought $800 worth of stuff on Temu.
I've never done anything on Temu. The Temu's not man. I'm not even messing with Temu. Or what's the other one? AliExpress.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get left on free.
Well, they didn't get mine. So, and what is this? Oh, sorry, I'm trying to take it, but the comment section was moving. If all sides lower tariffs, we all benefit. That is 100% true, and we've already seen that. India is coming to the bargaining table. We'll be signing, or should be at least negotiating, a trade deal with them within the next few days, not months, not years. The next few days. Vietnam, they've offered a 0% tariff on American goods. Europe has already said we'll buy more of our energy from the United States. So that's more natural gas, that's more oil from the United States than they were. They've offered to decrease their tariffs. Japan is begging the United States to make a deal with them right now. Like, honestly, it's only been 4 days, and you're seeing
it's been looming. It's been looming. It wasn't like it sprung up. Everyone's been kind of.
Well, the second is when they went into effect. That's when he called it. I think it was Liberation Day.
Yeah.
What they call it. I think it's a stupid name. I don't really care.
It's a stupid name.
But that's what they called it because it's easy for people to remember. So you get that. It's been 4 days. 4 days of these mass tariffs and whatnot, and you've already seen positive, reciprocal, yes. You've already seen positive results from those. Now, is it Everybody? No. China, Canada, Mexico, they've all said we're going to increase our tariff on the United States. China could hurt, but it's only going to hurt them. It'll hurt the Americans, and it'll cost more to buy some of the goods and services, or most of the goods and services here, or goods anyway, in the United States.
A lot of the stuff just isn't quality anyway. So a lot of the stuff that you're buying is only good for a year or two. And you buy it because it's cheap, but it's only good for a year or two, you know?
This isn't really a step back.
We need some better made stuff.
Yeah. What's up, PL for life? I am Tools with Soul. Okay. You're not. I am. Good try, though. You almost had me.
There's a Spider-Man meme who pointed at each other.
So right now, it's China, Mexico, Canada increasing their tariffs. Mexico, Canada, they will absolutely crush their economies. Their economies are solely dependent on the United States. I just hate to say it to you.
He said, "Hey, I got you." You were confused for a second.
My bad. We need an American Tools with Soul. Oh, all right. Thanks, Juan. So what you're seeing is Canada, their prime minister said that they want to increase trade with other countries. The United States, as one entity, just one entity, they consume about 30% of the world goods.
Right.
Like everything in the world, 30% of it goes to the U.S. I'm with you, PL for life. Makita, by the way, probably going to be the most hurt initially by the tariffs because they closed all of their plants in North America. All of them. They have none left. So they're bringing in stuff from overseas, mainly made in China, by the way.
Where is Hilti made?
Texas.
Okay. 100%?
Oh, no. Okay. They're just headquartered in Texas. Where does everything? Dow futures are down 3%. Chris, yeah, the futures are down. And the reason it's called a future and not a present, the futures are down because most folks don't understand what the new ground rules are going to be, how long the tariffs are going to be in effect, or if they're a permanent thing. So they don't understand the rules. The stock market is a reactionary force. It's not a predictive force.
Is there a sunset clause on that, or is that just...
Nope.
It's in there for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over 50% of, it's actually like 60% of Canada's exports are to the United States. They truly cannot operate without the United States. They are a dependent nation on the United States. China, I think it's 35% of Chinese goods and services go to the United States. Only 35%.
Juan said that because I like electronics. He's not trying to fool.
It's beneficial to every country to be in business with the U.S. Just got to find a fair outcome. I'm with you. I'm going to leave that last part out because that's politics. I'm just going to leave it out. I am neither for nor against them. I think something had to be done. I want to see what the effects will be before I pass judgment.
Right.
So.
Right or wrong, let's see what happens. Don't have a choice.
Yeah. What do I think of Wrangler Star? I don't.
I like Wrangler Star. I like. What do I like about Wrangler Star?
I'm with you, Fuzzy.
I like a lot about Wrangler Star, but then a lot of his stuff is like it's too clickbaity, man. For me, I run my channel with no clickbait, so I don't even like to ask questions in my titles. He's a lot of clickbait, man. So
Yeah.
it's just too much, man. It's like diva. It's like manly diva behavior. It's just too much drama all the time. It's like an episode of Grey's Anatomy, man. You just don't know what you're going to see. I just want something normal for once. But I like the guy. I like his stances on stuff.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
So what do you think of the trillions of dollars at stake? Wall Street doesn't know what the ground rules are. What have you seen? Honestly, stock market's still at or near record high, all-time high. 43,000. Still at or near all-time record high. We've discovered now it's over $1 trillion in fraudulent spending within the United States. I am less concerned about these tariffs than I am about what they've been uncovering. Whether I believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't really matter. They stop payment on these things. They have a track record and they post it.
Damn.
So,
hey, you know how much Amazon Prime costs now?
What's that?
You know how much Amazon Prime costs now?
No.
$150.47.
That sucks to be you.
That does suck to be me.
Well, that also stands to reason since most of their stuff comes from China anyway. Thank you for that. $2, Josh. I appreciate that. Well, look at this. New member from NYY11743. Appreciate you being a new member. Thank you very much. I saw Shaka Gillis up here, 10 months as a member, or you gifted 10 memberships. Oh, thank you, Shaka. Appreciate that. Look at that. We're helping the economy already. Sayre said that Canada can live without the United States. They truly cannot. They can try, but if you look at where the Canadian economy is without the United States, it's just bohica. They are 60% of their economy is based on trade with the US. Their own people can't make up the difference. They don't have the manpower to do it.
No, I don't know. I don't know how you know all this.
Thanks, I pay attention.
Yeah.
The 964 is the strongest thing on the market besides the 961. No, actually, the Bosch high torque impact wrench is more powerful than the DeWalt. But thanks for playing our game.
961 is talking about an impact wrench.
Yeah, he's talking about the 961's an impact wrench.
So what's the Bosch?
So the 960. The 960 was their high torque. It's very hard to remember all that. USA is one of only country that refines sour oil. That's true.
Bosch makes a strong high torque.
What's that?
Bosch makes a high torque. That's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Bosch makes the most powerful high torque, bar none.
Wrench.
Impact wrench. They also make the most powerful hammer drill.
Yeah.
Kind of a catch-22 with 100 miles a year. That is also true. I think it's like 75% of Canada is they're not able to live on it because it's not rich. Like there isn't enough resources for them to live on it. Just saying. The 1330 Quint Jaws, yes.
Yeah.
The 50 again. Okay. All right. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. Robert, we can, and we are doing it now, moving away from you. It's great. We are now importing 72% less from the United States. But what are you importing less of? Liquor? grain, things you can't grow. Canada
So,
cannot live on its own. Canada has to be, thank you, Backwoods.
so they were importing 72% of something, and now they're not. That's a tremendous number to stop importing.
Yeah. That's not, he's talking. So right here, he's only talking about oil. Grain. How much grain is grown in Canada? The last time I checked, Sarah, you can't eat oil. And by the way, the country with the largest oil reserve in the world, the United States. We just haven't tapped into it.
Right.
But the largest known oil reserve in the world is the United States. We can grow. This is so cute. We can grow everything but coffee and oranges, but you don't. You don't go grain. You can't grow grain because your growing season isn't long enough. Corn, which goes into ethanol and whatnot, can't get that either because of the season is not long enough for you to mass produce it and make it a viable commodity. There's a reason you guys are importing so much. Just saying. But I appreciate where you're coming from, Sayer. I do.
We even have clean coal that we refuse to even tap into.
Yeah.
We have methods of doing clean coal, whatever that means.
Oh, electricity is the number one export Canada gives to the United States, and the United States could cut that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you say. My state of Missouri has a larger economy than Canada. Texas. Do you know where Canada would rank if it were a state? Like the entire thing. I think it would be like 8th, 9th biggest economy in the US. That's your whole country.
Gotcha.
Compared to one state.
Who's the biggest state?
California.
Okay.
California has I'm getting a cramp in my leg. Sorry.
It happens.
Juan does love cobalt, right?
Panther ex-wife had a greater economy than Canada.
That's also true. Clean coal is one of those fuzzy math things. They're still trying to prove it. Hey, don't ask me. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
What is this? Chris, thanks for the M12 drill hacksaw rover batteries for 149. I was able to get it. I appreciate that. Thank you. Look at that. I'm doing my part to help. We might. That was
the one I voted against. It's a good kit. It's a good kit. It's just it's a good kit. It's good.
I am trying to not get all political and your country, my country, bull, but some folks just didn't get the memo and they've decided to continue it on, and I just let them for the most part, but it does get a little old and it gets a little tiring. We're just talking about the effects. And I said, oh, thanks forgot my name. Appreciate you being here.
It's Sunday and Tuesday and Thursday.
Sayer, the Canadian proud. All the things to be proud of. Sorry, it was a joke. I am not attacking anybody. I am simply trying to explain that tariffs can be good. They're also bad. They're bad because it does strain the relationship between trading partners. And trading partners are world entities. They're governments. It does strain that relationship. However, when one side has been affected in a ratio that is far beyond the other side, then reacting to it decades later can feel like a throat punch to the fart box for those other entities. And that is exactly what hurt so many governments lately, is that the United States said, we need to have an even playing field. The United States is $39 trillion in debt. It's actually closer to $60 trillion when you factor in all of the stuff. Not talking politics. When you factor in future payments, growth of the whatever, it's actually closer to about $60 trillion. We are the most heavily indebted country in the world, bar none.
All right.
We could not continue to borrow money to pay other countries to sell their products to us. And that's exactly what's happened. Now you go in and you say, we want to make sure that we aren't borrowing more money in the future to keep things exactly as they are now. That is an overall a good thing for the people of the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Ooh. No tariffs. I'm all for no tariffs, but it has to be reciprocal. Lighting. The lighting was awful. What lighting, dude?
Probably my side. My lighting's awful.
I think my lighting's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I just jumped on here. You were still fiddling with trying to make the stream, and then I didn't even know if my microphone was going to work when I went on here.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wanted to go back to Streamyard for this because of the conversation and not wanting to have a bunch of trolls come in trying to dictate what we talk about with their antics. Oh, lightning connector. Okay. My bad. Thank you, Denny.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely true. Thank you, buds. The point isn't to raise prices. It's to make American prices look better. I'm with you 100% on that.
Is exactly what's going to happen.
I want to know when Sharush is sending me that.
American prices are going to look better.
That's true. I want to know when Sharush is sending me that knife. I want it. I'm just saying.
We're gonna.
It's all right. I'm just joking with you.
We're gonna get a boat that was made in China for 5 cents. By the time it gets here, shipped, it's 8 cents. American made, it's going to be 11 cents. By American.
There's a lot of truth to what you're saying, Buzz. I'm just not going to put it up on the screen. Tariffs will 100% decrease our debt. Because why do you take debt? Why are you having debt? First of all, it's because your government's spending too much. Right? That's what happens. The government spends too much. So they borrow money from other countries. And if you're in the United States, you also lend those other countries money that they apparently don't have to pay back. But you borrow other money from other countries and you send off your jobs to those other countries because they've got cheaper labor. It actually costs less to make a product in China, have it shipped over to the United States, pay all the import fees, the export fees, the shipping and whatnot than it is to make it in the United States. So those jobs that you're losing out on, I'm just answering Hannibal here. Those jobs that you're losing out on in the United States because it's cheaper to make something overseas, a tariff brings some of those, not all of them, but some of those jobs back to the United States. that means that there is now more money in the economy. More money in the economy means more people buying stuff. That also means higher wages. Higher wages means more taxes brought into the United States government. So yes, tariffs do decrease debt. What's up, you boy? You just showed up as we were getting ready to wrap up and leave.
What's up, you boy?
So apologize, everyone. I just wanted to make sure that we got all of this out of the way, because I see a lot of misinformation going around YouTube from people that frankly aren't qualified to read a Dr. Seuss book, giving folks they're giving folks their opinion, their uninformed opinion on things.
I'm just not sure the method you're going about doing it. I think it's going to open up a doorway for more trouble in the future.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you're taking off a Band-Aid, do you take it off slow?
No, I get why they're doing it. I just hope they're not setting a precedent for something that someone in the future can do something else. It's kind of like you're going to make a new rule in the stream, whatever it is. You can call whatever you want in your stream, right? And then when you get to my stream, I'm going to call you what the fuck I want in my stream. And then it's just back and forth. Okay. When someone new gets in, what are they going to set a precedent for? Because we're opening the door on precedents that's never been set before.
Sure.
Usually tariffs are only allowed during war. That's when you enact a tariff on somebody, is when you declare war.
That's no. You talk about just the United States?
I'm just talking about in general. Like, if we were at war with
somebody, in general, that's not true.
We would enact a tariff on that country that we're at war with.
When did we go to war with Canada?
I don't know.
1813. And it wasn't even Canada, it was the British.
Okay, right.
Right? When did Canada start tariffing the United States?
Forever. I don't know.
1870 or 1970s. When did we have a war with Canada in the 1970s?
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about what.
Who that, Greg?
I mean, what the Constitution says, basically, on.
Constitution says that the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, has the right to pass a tariff.
Right.
It doesn't say in war.
No, I'm just saying in general, that's usually when it would be normal, I guess you would say.
No, because
expected, I guess you would say.
No worries, Sharush. I was just busting your balls, buddy. Don't worry about it. Yeah, again, it's not true. The United States has tariffed countries in the past without having to go to war. As a matter of fact, it would be less likely for them to pass a tariff when they were at war, unless they passed a tariff on the country they were at war with, at which point it is unlikely or highly unlikely that you're importing their goods or services anyway, because one of the first things that you do is you put an embargo on that country saying that we do not want your goods. We do not want your products. So stay over there. It is much more likely and historically more accurate to say that we have traditionally passed very low tariffs, like 2.5% on the EU. We have passed much lower tariffs on other countries, and we had not used our position as the world's leading
consumer of everything that has to buy everything. Right.
So while it started in the 1970s under Jimmy Carter, where he first, because it used to be very, very hard for companies to come into the United States and take our manufacturing positions away. You go back to the 80s, the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s, and televisions, electronics, and all that, you could still find them made in the United States. I think Zenith was the last one. They went out of business in 1996 as a producer here in the U.S.
Yeah.
It was under the Carter administration and his willingness, because of Nixon going into China and opening the Chinese market and wanting to grow the relationship with China, Nixon set up a most favored nation status with China that in effect caused a lot of the industry, the manufacturing industry here in the United States.
They go over there.
So, well, we can pay these guys $15 a month to produce goods in China, or we can pay an American worker back then $7 an hour, give or take, whatever it was, $2.35 an hour. It was still much cheaper to go to China, produce over there, and then bring product into the United States because they have most favored nation status. And that means that they are not going to have those high tariffs. Japan, after the 1950s, was a huge trading partner with the United States. If you go in and look at your grandmother's or great grandmother's items, especially her knickknacks or whatnot, you're going to find a lot of them made in Japan.
Yeah.
A lot of your tools back in the 80s and whatnot, made in Taiwan, made in Japan, whatever. Those were areas where going into that most favored nation status and having lower tariffs, because we had tariffs on those countries before, but having lower tariffs with China put those countries' manufacturing businesses out of business because we were buying more from the Chinese government, the Chinese manufacturers, than ever before. So it's all part of the same. Both sides are guilty. So don't really care what side you're on, because both of them are guilty and both of them suck to some extent. Yeah. But that's how it started and how we got to where we are today. The problem was that we allowed it to happen for so long that the rest of the world was not mentally prepared for an American president to come in and say, enough is enough. Rightly or wrongly, doing it right or wrong, I have no idea. I won't know. Neither do you. We will not know for some time.
My biggest concern with this, as an inspector, the quality of services, products, installations is completely,
I'm with you, sir,
down. Nobody seems to care anymore. No one's educated enough. We probably need to focus more on trades sooner than later, while we're also focusing on American made, because all that kind of goes hand in hand. If you're going to employ people to build more stuff out here, they need to start giving a damn.
Well, the thing is, in a service.
One more thing. Do you think that's a worldwide problem? Just what do you call it? Generational?
No.
Or is it just here? Because I see other countries.
Well, Europe.
Pride.
Yeah, it's Europe and the United States. And the reason, like, if you go to, like, I watch a lot of Korean build videos because I'm fascinated by the way they build things, how efficient it is, how beautiful it is when they're done, or whatever. If you watch Korea, China can build a multi-story housing project for hundreds of people within a week or two. The United States, we can't even get the concrete poured in 2 weeks. You know, the difference is over there, they have a manufacturing economy. The United States has a service economy. Our educational system is currently developed for, designed for service. It is woodshop no longer taught in class. They don't want you to use your hands. Teachers tell you constantly that the only way to get ahead in the United States is to go to college. They look down on tradesmen, on blue collar workers, right? Yeah. Our entire educational system is designed and developed around people being subservient to someone else. And what I mean by that is a service, when you're providing a service, your service has to be under someone else, for and under someone else. If you have a manufacturing business and you know how to work with your hands, you can be independent in that you can actually go out there and you're not requiring somebody to come in and build your house. You're not requiring somebody to fix your car. You're not requiring somebody to come in and work on your plumbing. You're not requiring somebody to come in and do things that your grandparents took for granted. The best book I have.
I agree. N1Y.
Sorry. The best book that I have used to, and I have it around here somewhere, is a book from 1946 about how to work on your appliances and do stuff around your house.
Yeah.
That I still use today on our modern appliances. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. We're trying to find common ground with folks. We don't want to have a political discussion because it's going to get you nowhere.
Looking down. Was that my comment?
I don't know.
The looking down. I would say they're not looking down. The quality is down. Is he talking about the quality, or is he saying how the servant thing? I'm not encouraged and even paid for. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
100 years ago,
I work in an industry. Sorry, they're expecting the inspector to show up. They're ready for the inspection. They schedule it. I'm not a third party. I'm not a existing inspector. Whatever you see on my channel that I used to post very frequently is new construction. A lot of people get that mixed up. You can watch all these other YouTubers that are showing all this stuff and like, oh, look what we found. This was burning up. Well, yeah, that's from people coming in without a permit for years and adding crap without a permit, without a competent electrician. I'm looking at stuff that people pull permits for that were paid very recently to do the task, and it ain't right. So I've been doing it for about 8 years now. It's been dwindling every year, and it's only getting worse. The level of competency, the education, it's just down for trades.
Fire service or the trades, electricians. Oh yeah. The thing is,
oh, I showed you the trim work. We saw the trim work. I don't show it on YouTube, but I FaceTime him. Looking at the trim work, dude. 1/8-inch gaps on miters. They're not even closed.
Walls that aren't straight.
Walls that aren't straight. So you got the stairs, right? And then once you go up the stairs, obviously you're on the second floor. So from the bottom floor, there's always that one chunk of like sheetrock, but really it's like a large structure that's going all the way across. The floor is not level, bro. I don't know how they shim it once you got upstairs. Like you saw that too, right?
Yep.
Crazy.
Rigid. I think if you see any effect on power tools right now or tools in general, it's only going to be short term. I think regardless of what's going on in the world, power tool prices have remained fairly steady. Even if it goes up, it'll only go up by maybe $10, $20, which, not to make light of it, but when you're spending $300 on a tool, $320 ain't so bad, you know.
Free trades education sounds great, but someone's got to pay for it, man. Somebody that's a veterinarian doesn't need to pay for somebody that's going to be an electrician, man. There shouldn't be any free education. Trade school is actually really affordable, and it's actually a really good option. They treat it here in Texas. They treat it like it's almost a union, where you're not really paying dues, but you're paying a little bit out of your paycheck towards school. And then you go to school twice a week from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, because I know you're working. So you're pretty much going to sleep at 12 o'clock on those days. And they guarantee you a set wage. And all these companies that join this trade school, they log all your hours and everything, and they guarantee you at, let's say you start at $15 an hour. I think I started at 11, right? You start at $15 an hour. Every 1,000 hours, you're going to get roughly $1 raise. So once you get out for a pay period of 8 different pay periods for 4 years, you get 2 raises every year. You're going to make $8 more an hour from when you started, which is going to put you close to journeyman scale. And then it's up to you to go get your license. But all of these companies that are invested in this same trade school, which is local throughout the whole Metroplex, know what this school is about, know that you're going to be educated, and it's a feather in your hat when you go anywhere. Oh, hey, you went to IEC? Come on in.
How many likes do we have on this, by the way? I'm only seeing 13 on my side. I don't know if there are more. You guys
can I double tap the screen? No.
I don't know. Start your own business. Sky's the limit. One, I don't get why Cobalt is so dang blue. Don't ask. I don't know. 31. Thank you, Mr. Hungry. I appreciate that. Show 15 for you. All right. Well, hey, 32. Thanks, Sharush. I just want to make, because I'm only seeing 13, and I've done my level best to not go down the politics road and get into personalities, because that doesn't benefit us. What I've done is give you guys an open and honest forum of what I think the tariffs are like, and I've allowed you guys, for the most part, to go hog wild in the comment section without correcting being like too over the top with it or whatever.
I think it's been pretty decent. Could have been worse. Could have been better.
Yeah, we could always do better. But I wanted to make sure that we had that down. So 750 flex, half-inch impact. Good deal, George. If you get it, they try to look it up again, man. So is the Makita coffee maker price going to go up? Absolutely. Yes, Sarah, we do agree on that.
I'll share a picture. I will share one picture.
So when it comes to tariffs,
just one picture very quickly, okay?
I'm sorry, I interrupted the middle of my sentence. Yes, that's hilarious and should never be done.
That is DC on a rooftop. That is a combination plumbing fitting. Wiring from one inverter to another inverter. How many volts do you think that is? That's 120 panels.
Oh, what size are the panels?
I didn't even get that far in the inspection.
Okay.
Let's say they're 400 watts.
It's enough to kill you for sure.
You like how they just kind of funneled it in the
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not lack of education. That's lack of ethic. You can't teach ethic.
The only thing that we haven't tried is uninstalling
Hi, Keely.
the air condition.
Everyone can hear, baby.
Oh.
Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Yes, that was PVC. Hi. That was plumbing PVC, not conduit. So
Just better.
Makita came out with a robot vacuum, a cordless robot vacuum that you can get now at Woot for a mere, I think it's $1,100. Or you can go buy the Samsung or the iRobot for under $300. It's your choice. I have yet to see a robot vacuum on a job site, so it kind of makes me wonder who Makita's making tools for.
Yeah.
I just say it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't buy the Makita vacuum for $1,100. It's terrible. So we're going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation tonight, but we're going to end it here, and we're going to go on our merry little way for the rest of the week, and we'll see you guys back here next Sunday. So we end the show the same way every time, and that is for all you Makita guys out there, don't forget, blow them like you know them. And we got a new one that we're going to unleash on you guys today. Keep the gears spinning and the beavers grinning. Have a good one.